Hi, everyone. This week's daily thoughts start in Exodus chapter 3. Moses was taking care of the flock for his father-in-law Jethro, the priest of Midian. He led his flock out to the edge of the wilderness, and he came to Horeb, the mountain of God. The Lord's messenger appeared to him in a flame of fire in the middle of a bush. And Moses saw the bush was in flames, but it didn't burn up. And Moses said to himself, "Let me check out this amazing sight and find out why the bush isn't burning up." When the Lord saw that he was coming to look, God called to him out of the bush, "Moses, Moses." Moses said, "Here I am." And the Lord said, "Don't come any closer. Take off your sandals, because where you're standing is holy ground." He continued, "I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob." Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God. And the Lord said, "I have clearly seen the oppression of my people in Egypt. I've heard their cry because of their slave masters, and I know their suffering. I've come down to rescue them from the Egyptians in order to take them out of this land and bring them to a good and broad land, a land full of milk and honey." The question I think of with this story is, what if Moses had just kept walking, right? He sees this bush, but, hey, I've got sheep to take care of. I don't have time to stop and go see why this bush is on fire. I think that's kind of our state today, right? Cynically, we just think that we've seen it all. We're so busy, we have so many things to do that we just can't stop to look and see. Nothing impresses us anymore. We don't think anybody has anything they can tell us. We already know what they're going to say before they even start talking. And so we're closed off. But as I've talked about before, if we're going to see God, we have to see the necessity of awe and wonder. And sometimes that means just being willing to look. For me, I've experienced this. I've taken up running in the mornings. So far, it's going all right. And because it's September, there's some trees along my route that are starting to turn. Right? And there's one tree in particular where half of its leaves are bright red. And every time I go by it, I don't always stop because, I'm on my run. But I do notice, right? And it draws something out of me, right? It makes me feel something bigger. Any of these sort of experiences, whether it's in nature or in music, or it is in another person, they remind us that there's something bigger than ourselves, right? And ultimately that we're seeing God somehow in these moments. I mean, Jesus himself said that he's often not found in the places you'd expect, but we find him in the stranger. So the question we have to ask ourselves today is, am I willing to turn aside? Am I willing to take that extra second to stop and look? Because if we do, we just might meet God. When we meet God, when we see God, we see that God also sees us and that God is working to save us, and whatever that looks like today. We may not know, but we're never going to know unless we can stop and see him and be in awe. So blessings on you today.